All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly Essential Island Living Builders team call. I emailed everyone earlier from MailChimp a copy of this weekly success schedule. What was actually a link to a PDF of this weekly success schedule. I'm going to share it tonight on the screen as we're going through. But if I do think at some point printing this out, or at least being able to access it frequently, would be super helpful. Now, this is really important, and not everybody is here, so I'm going to want to say this again later. But I want to make sure that everyone is on so in MailChimp, I have to put everybody on mailing lists. If you're not getting my business emails, which I don't send them out every month, but if you didn't get the email today for this weekly success schedule, please let me know. And then please check with the people that are your active current builders, anyone who you want getting this information, check to see if they're getting my emails. Because if they're not, what I need you to do is text and say, please add Tia to the Biz Builders email list. My goal is to eventually consistently send out a business email and a customer email. I feel like doTERRA does a pretty darn good job of the customer email, to be perfectly honest, but there's still information that I should be sending out. I'm just not good at it. I'm realizing it. Like, I'm not good at those mass emails. It's not something I want to do. So I need to hire somebody to do that. So anyway, it is a goal of mine, but I do want to make sure that people are getting the emails. Okay. So I'm not too worried about people who enroll, because the person I hire to export all of the new enrollees and put them on my email list, they all get added to like the customer list. Try to be sure to tell people like, oh, you might also start getting emails from like other support people like Liza, or like, Kate sends out a lot of emails to her team. She's really good at that, better than I am. And so, if you're on her team, you're going to want to be able to say that just as a reminder, because we don't want people to like freak out. They always have the option to opt out, but of course we don't want them to opt out, right? So, okay, let's go ahead, grab an oil that is near you and speaking to you tonight. Oh, beautiful. I love this one. I just discovered I have about 6 of them that I'm hoarding. Apparently, I didn't even remember. And if you feel like compelled, I am doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. All right. Okay. So, end of the month. Honestly, you guys, how is it the end of August? Like, I don't even understand this. The one thing that I will say, and I know that many of us on this call can say, is that convention is right around the corner, and that is always such an exciting time. It's been a rocky month. It's been maybe a rocky few months, even though it hasn't seemed like that. It has been for the team and for a lot of people on the team, and just little, things are happening that aren't I guess, the norm that are throwing people off their game or, happening that have been road bumps. And so convention is such a time to get re-inspired, reconnected, reinvigorated. And then also for those of you that guys that aren't going, live vicariously through us, check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, because we will be posting all of the goodness there for you guys to experience. And then of course there is that live stream option, which would be pretty cool too. That's still available. All right. So anybody want to share any successes or challenges before we dive into this weekly success schedule? I'm just going to grab my water real quick behind me right here. Okay. Anybody? All right. Well, fine. I'm going to share one. Fraser, I got the pleasure of flying to Oahu this last weekend on Saturday to Sunday. And it was just a good trip all around. I got a customer reactivated on LRP. I got to drop off some information with 2 possible builders, current customers, possible builders on Oahu, so that I can set up a Zoom schedule for them. Got to have dinner with my best friends. But the highlight for sure was helping Fraser to host her very own class. Her very first class, sorry. It was her own class, her very first class. She had a great turnout. She really focused on, I thought of you a lot, Tani, at her class actually, because she really just focused a lot on the choices that we make when it comes to the things that we bring into our house, personal care products, cleaning products. She shared her story. If you are active on Instagram, it's still there. It's an incredible post about her first son, Punahele, who was born, or when he was in womb, was told that he was going to have a birth defect. And, Fraser's super healthy, eats really well, exercises, enjoys it. So there's that too, right? Okay. And, it was really hard for her and her husband to understand why this was happening to their baby and so forth. And so that's kind of where her journey began, with tried to make stronger choices for her family. So although we did the one-on-one part, she did a whole separate part just based on toxic chemicals found in our products, cleaning products and everyday products. And a lot of the information that she got was off of a documentary called Stink on Netflix. And if you haven't watched that, I highly, 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 highly recommend you watch that. It's called Stink on Netflix. And as you're sharing with people in doTERRA about doTERRA, trying to, help to educate and build value, that would be a phenomenal video to recommend for them to watch. Of course, after you watched it, preferably. I have watched it, and I think I need to do a little bit more education. I was thinking even like a watch party for that would be kind of cool if we just had that as like a bonding team event. Anyway, so that's what she did. It was incredible turnout. She got 2 enrollments that day. A friend who reactivated, who had enrolled years ago, never got any support, reactivated on the team. I think tonight her sister finally enrolled and will be one of her newer builders. So really successful. And I think more importantly, just that she did it. And she offered a really simple make and take. She bought big 16-ounce spray bottles and did an On Guard cleaner concentrate, On Guard lemon, all-purpose spray, $5 make and take. That was a huge hit. And I think she probably made her money back from the make and take, and for some of the supplies and stuff. But it was really, really awesome. So I just wanted to give her a quick, yay, good job, and shout out. And hopefully now that gives her the motivation and the courage to do more of that on her own. So it was super awesome. And for me, it's very inspiring and reinvigorating to do that, to help people that are really motivated and inspired and are putting forth the effort, because this business takes effort, you guys. And and that can be hard for people. So Anyway, anybody else want to share anything? Okay, fine. You missed me talking all the time. All right, fine. Okay, whatever. By the way, though, I did lock down our next two guest speakers. So Ashley Kemma from Gold Drop Society will be joining us in September, the last week in September, after we get back from convention. So the week of convention we'll take off, no builders call. The week after we will do a builders call, focus solely on post convention. And everyone on the call that's going to convention, remember to think about what you want to share when we get back with the rest of the team. And then the last week, Ashley Kemma will come on. And then Nick Kilpack, who is a recently transplanted blue diamond. I ran into him at open house. Now his daughter's going to Puukukui. And yeah, that was a whole other, right? Like, I didn't get introduced as a teacher, all that. So anyway, I saw him. He's going to do a team call, I think we said in October. So yay, we're bringing on lots. And he said business is more his thing. So I said, well, that's perfect because it's a business team call. So Ashley has yet to tell me what she's going to talk about. But okay, so weekly success schedule. Let me give you guys a little bit of quick background. So this success schedule comes from Elise Sedavi. She is the only triple diamond in doTERRA, okay? This means that she has built not one, not two, but 3 diamond organizations, which means that she has so to be presidential, you need 5 platinums. So she has 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, you need 6 platinums. 6, 12, 5. Okay, 17. She has 17 qualifiers that are platinum and above. 17 of them. All in separate legs, mind you. All in separate legs. Okay. So because, sometimes organizations can have 3, 4, 5, 6 diamonds on one organization or one leg. Okay. No, she has 17 platinums or above on 17 different legs. Who knows how many she has underneath. Okay. And she spoke at Diamond Retreat and she shared this. And she said the thing that she runs into the most in this business is people always asking, what do I do? What do I do? What do you do? What have you done to build this business and be so successful? And she said, this is it. So as we go through this is going to be things that I feel like you guys are like, okay, I do, or as a team, we do. And I think on our team, we approach things a little differently. We look at everything as a collective effort because everybody, works full time, has kids, has busy lives. And so rather than have expectations on any one person doing too much, we kind of all share the load. And I love that. I love that our classes, if people from Kate's class go to Kanani's class, it doesn't benefit Kanani at all, but she's happy to do it. And I love that about our team. I think it makes us really, really special. As we go through this weekly success schedule, so you're going to connect with things that you feel like I do or we as a team do. You're going to kind of go like, how would that work? What do I think about that? What I really want this to be, though, you guys, is a collaborative effort to talk about how we can do things better on our team. Like, I want feedback for us to move forward in ways that support you as builders, but also our customers. Okay. So I'm going to go through this. It is not mine. And as we go through each section, which we'll probably only get to like maybe a couple tonight. What time is it? It's 8:47. As I go through each section, I'm going to stop and mute myself. And I want some serious feedback. If you guys have ideas, thoughts on how we can better help and support the team, like, I want to hear that. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Oh, and there's my back office. Hold on. I know I put it here somewhere. Oh, there it is. All right. So what's the surest way to success? It's being consistent with the core business building activities. These activities compound on each other when they happen in a dedicated fashion. So I think those two words are very, very important: consistent and dedicated. Okay. So this is what she said are 6 crucial weekly activities for success. And I struggle with the weekly part. Okay. An introduction to oils class. She said that that we should be offering a weekly introduction to oils class. So I have some ideas about that. A basic business training. A lot of times that will go along with the intro to oils class. Wellness consults, which we know. Continuing education classes, which we are currently not providing. A team call, which we have, but only for builders. Strategy sessions with key builders. So this would be more one-on-one time with your key builders. I actually had this today with both Keisha and Aisha, but I need to do them more consistently. And then contacting and following up. So you guys can kind of see that a lot of this falls into pipes, right? Preparing, inviting, presenting. So here we're presenting, right? Introduction to oils class, basic business training. We're enrolling, and then once we're enrolling, we're supporting with wellness consults, continuing education, contacting and following up. Okay. So she's going to show us an example of a success schedule below. We'll get to that in a little bit. But basically in this success schedule, she's like, it has space for every core business building activity to grow all your business. And she says, notice all the white space and also how many activities can easily be fit in between other priorities, family, other job, etc. You want to commit to building seriously and your results will become serious. Okay. So doing this weekly success schedule every week for 12 months is the surest way to moving your business forward. If you're trying to solidify diamond or push to blue and beyond, follow this schedule consistently. So I know that for some of you on this call, that's not your goal or immediate goal anyway, to be a diamond. I mean, ultimately, a lot of these things I feel fall. Sorry, one of my bosses was texting me. I was getting a little worried. Fall on on me to think about, but I would love some input and of course collaboration from everybody on the team. Okay, so here's her idea for the intro to oil classes. You must have the same class at the same time on the same day in the same place. This speeds up duplication because anyone who wants to bring someone to a class knows exactly when and where the next oil class will be. After a while, you will have hundreds of people duplicating the same class each week with thousands of new enrollments. Okay, that part kind of blows my mind. But when you have a week with little or no attendance, keep going, be consistent, it will pay off. This weekly class is critical for massive duplication. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share here and I'm going to ask for some feedback about this. Anybody have any ideas about this? Okay, fine. I'll share the idea that I had. Then you guys can give me feedback on that. All right. So my idea was that that's impossible. I shouldn't say it's impossible. It would be really, really hard for me to commit to every single week, the same night, the same time, same day, same time. I was thinking though, that if we chose a date and time as a team and then did it in a public place like Starbucks or something, then we could take turns being at that class. If it was, we have a lot of classes on Sundays, okay? So if it was a Sunday at 3:00 class every single week, and you know, between Kate, Kanani, Keisha, and Aisha and I, if we all at least committed to once a week, we would have that covered. And then in case of something happening, you know, I don't know. Now, here's what I was thinking, Fraser, is that for our people that aren't there, we could commit to an online class at the same time, maybe just even while we were there. Like, you know, I mean, if you go someplace where there's free Wi-Fi, you can start the Zoom, and if nobody shows up, then nobody shows up, right? But if somebody shows up on the Zoom for the class, I don't know. That's basically as far as I got on that thought. And then the thing about the public place is that, one, the location doesn't change, and two, that kind of alleviates a lot of stress. Like, I mean, I don't stress hard, but you know, I want my house to be clean. You know, I have to put out snack. If people come to Starbucks, it's like, bring your own mug. I'll buy you a cup of coffee or whatever you want. You know, I'd be happy to sponsor that, even if I, like, say I wasn't doing the class and say, Tani, I don't know, you said that week you would do it. You know, I'd be willing to pay you back for however many coffees or whatever you bought for people, you know, and then it's like takes a lot of that pressure off. This wouldn't mean we wouldn't have any other classes, but if you think about this idea that we could offer same class every week at the same, I mean, that just, the consistency of that is kind of incredible. And then for the people that can't make that, then you schedule a one-on-one, right? Well, I could do Tuesday at 5 p.m. or Saturday at 9 a.m. or whatever. Okay, I'm really going to mute myself and I just feedback.
Would Starbucks allow us to do something like that?
We've done it before. We've done Starbucks before. It just gets really busy. We did the Safeway Starbucks, before. I think it was a builders meeting that we did. But Coffee Bean seems a little less busy, the one by Fulan Kehalani. And I don't know, it's nicer than Safeway Starbucks.
The Target Starbucks seems to be not so used. I don't know, but that's maybe, well, it depends on the time of day, I guess. But
I think that's a great idea.
Coffee be a little bit expensive there, Liza?
Coffee Bean is a little bit more expensive. The Starbucks in Wailuku is really nice too, the one across from Long's.
But if you bring your own mug, it's not too expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends, I think, what people order. But, I mean, you know.
Water.
No, I mean, I feel like bring a cup and we'll buy you, you know, like, I buy snacks and stuff anyway, you know. I mean, to be honest. So, you know.
I think that's a good idea. I guess it's hard to figure out the we would kind of course, have to do like a trial run just because some days are really crazy busy. I'm sure like Sunday mornings, which we never do a class Sunday morning.
Right.
But that's why the afternoon would probably be less busy.
Yeah.
I like the idea too. My own weirdness would be like doing a Zoom in Starbucks. Having people like, who are you talking to? Your computer screen. But that makes sense though, because at least you could try to see, salvage your time with an online class at the same time.
The other thing with the online part, our team outside of Maui is growing, which is great. And I just need to think of ways to support them. The other option could be maybe for that, because you're right, Kate, that would be kind of weird. We haven't gotten to this yet, but the next part here is continuing education classes. Number 4 is continuing education. We need to provide more continuing education for people outside of the Facebook group. I think that needs to be consistent too. I don't know when else to fit that in. Like, I thought, like, okay, let's do 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. 8 o'clock is so hard for me. I mean, I can make it happen, but it's so hard for me. Like, that's right when my kids are getting into bed and whatever. And if I start at 8, they're still up. They're still like, rustling around and stuff. Now, I set up strategy sessions with people on at 8 before the business call, and that, I mean, I can make it happen, but on a consistent basis, I don't think it is. So I don't know if we say like first Wednesday and third Wednesday of every month is just product education, and second Wednesday and fourth and fifth Wednesday is business. But then I feel like that makes the business portion disjointed. Anyway, I'm skipping ahead. My point was thinking we could also do product education, could be a 101 with product every time, like 8:30 log on, from 8:30 to 8:45 is EO 101 basically. And then from 8:45 to like 9:15 is product education, and that would be opened up to everyone. Every week I would send out, oh God, this is anxiety. Send out an email to the entire team. This week's topic is this. If you can't catch it, here's the replay, right? Because the thing is that it's really weird, and I don't know why it's like this, but it's like there are so many resources out there. I mean, it's ridiculous how much doTERRA has out there. Empowered success, empowered life, like, but people don't really watch it. It's they want the connection of our community. That's what makes things, I think, special, Anyway, do you guys, anybody else have any feedback about the weekly classes? Should we try it and see how it goes for a couple months?
I think it'd be worth trying. I like the idea.
I mean, I just think there's something so simple about the fact that it's like we have class every Sunday at Starbucks, Kehalani, at 3 p.m. I mean, I'll be totally honest with you guys. That's the typical time I have a class. Sundays at 3 p.m. Like, if you look back over the history, that time just works for me. Now, I don't know that would work for everybody, though.
Would that class always be a 101, like every time,
yes.
Or would it change?
Nope.
Always the 101?
Always the 101.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's kind of her point, is that it's an introduction to oils class. It's just your basic
every time.
Learn about, yeah. And then the specialty classes would happen online more consistently, like the ongoing education. And then I would still probably have in-house classes here and there for sure, because, depending on what the topics are, right? But if you had, like, say when we did like the healthy habits class or whatever, like, how we had some of those, the 101 would still stay the same Sunday at 3 o'clock. But then if somebody wanted to have like a post-convention class where they're just revealing the new products, like new product reveal, we call them, that wouldn't be during your 101 Sunday 3 p.m. 101 class. That would be a different class. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay.
I definitely agree with the continuing education thing. I think that definitely, just trying to get the people who've enrolled but aren't like just going on LRP more, and I think that would push more people to go on LRP if we did more of a continuing education. And it's a good follow-up with people to say, hey, now, you went to my 101 class, now let's go to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And invite them back to the continuing education.
The thing is, the people that are on Facebook are getting a ton of education, right? I mean, I feel like our Facebook group has
My problem is half my friends are even on Facebook.
And that's the problem.
So
and that's
I try really hard to push doing text or messaging or screenshotting, which I'm always doing, because pretty much everybody I've enrolled isn't even on Facebook.
And that's totally it. And that's my thing.
Or
they're on there, but they're not active. Like, they don't actually go on there,
But I
Okay.
think there's something to going to someone's house too and having a one-on-one and more personal thing. There's something about like that, about
Yeah.
like you said, it's more connecting.
So my thing with that was we could probably do the time and the day, but then it kind of then becomes that same thing where, well, 1 week it's at Kanani's and then 1 week it's at Liza's and then 1 week it's at Kate's. Like then that whole idea of like the consistency is lost, I think the only way we'll know is to try it and see if people are actually showing up, But the showing up part is also a big reflection on the inviting part, right? That's always true. Like my turnout at classes is always based on how hard I invite and follow up on the invite too, Just food for thought. Let's move on to number 2. Basic business training. So she says that this is 20 minutes and this happens directly after your oil class every single week. This happens right after your oil class because the people are already there in the room. This gives them an additional exposure and you talk about 3 things: building a pipeline. So the story of residual income, a simplified compensation plan. What's the possibility of what doTERRA can be for them? It says, do not get complex and draw circles for your power of 3. And business success stories. Don't share the money, share how it changes someone's life and experience. So for this one, I just like the idea, and I need to be better about this, that at every single opportunity, like we didn't do this at Fraser's, and I need to be better at it. We need to talk about the business at every single opportunity. Like I did not close out Fraser's class by saying, listen, this business opportunity has changed my life. I've gone from being, a full-time teacher to working half-time, whatever it is, just sharing about the business. So please remember that as you guys are teaching classes or having one-on-ones or talking to people, don't forget to mention the business, because even if they're not interested right now, when they fall in love with the product, they might be, I just think that we want to continue to really be more mindful about that. So this, I don't think anyone would argue is a bad idea, right? To talk about the business more consistently at every exposure. Now, this was funny. It's not on this paper. So this is what she said. She said, you hide all the snacks for the 101. And then if people decide to stay for the business, then you bring out the snack. I was thinking, you don't live in Hawaii, lady, because you cannot do that. Like, sorry, no poo-poos for you unless you stay for
They need
business.
to hide the alcohol.
Okay. Next part of your weekly success schedule is wellness consults. Whenever people purchase oils at an oil class, this should be 45 minutes to 60 minutes long. Doing them at a customer's home is most effective. So I actually did that today. I had a business meeting with Aisha, and then somebody came to me for it was a very, very informal, she just enrolled, very informal wellness consult though. Then I met with Keisha for a couple hours, and then I went to Kihei to somebody else's home. And they said that doing it there is most effective because you can do things like help them open their hand soap and set it up, and like, make their rollers with whatever oils they have in their house and that kind of stuff. So I normally have people come to me, though, I'm not going to lie, for wellness consults. But, the goal of the wellness consult is to have the customer get on LRP and attend continuing education classes, use the Live Guide. Okay. I went through my book. I have a book of all my enrollees, and I highlighted, and you guys, I am at less than 50% wellness consult rate, which means I am not doing I'm doing wellness consult with less than half of the number of people that I'm enrolling. And that's just, it's not acceptable. I make it sort of optional kind of thing versus no, this is part of your membership. So if that's an area that you need to improve on, you might want to go back through all the people that you've enrolled and just make sure that you've made that sacred time to do that wellness consult with them. Okay. What time is it? It's 9:07. Let's talk about the last one and then we'll save the rest for next week. And honestly, you guys can kind of look at this and oh shucks, sorry, I forgot to. My bad, you guys. I forgot to show it. I was reading it and I forgot to show it. My bad. Okay, so then we talked about basic business, wellness consult. Okay, continuing education. So 1 hour product education, 1 hour business education. 85% of our checks are from product users. If we don't continually support our product users, we're throwing away the biggest part of our business. The intention of continuing ed is that by the end of the continuing ed experience, they've fallen in love with at least 5 products they will never stop ordering for the rest of their lives. It's way more effective in person because people have the physical experience of being there and they pay more attention. So I just don't know how this would be feasible. I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that like actually like her saying it should be in person. So this is like what they do for product education. They rotate every 8 weeks and it's an essential oils 101, LLV, healthy weight lifestyle, emotional wellness, hormone balance, mood management, body balance with aroma touch, skincare, essential science, which I don't even know what that really is, and pain management. So they just rotate these 8 topics. So basically every 2 months they're having these topics all over again, you know. Business education rotates every 4 weeks and happens right after the product education. Getting started, so just making a list, making your hundreds list, sampling, inviting to a class, compensation plan, how to teach an essential oils class, and elite in 6 weeks. So they talk about having graduations for continuing education. So like if people complete all 8 continuing ed courses, like you literally print them off like a diploma and stuff. I don't know. Saturday mornings work best. I think that's hilarious because Saturday mornings would be the absolute worst time in my life. Like, I don't know who these people are and where they're from, but like legit, that would be the worst time of my life. Food comes out during the business section. There it is. Every continuing ed class includes LRP education. Okay. So, you know, honestly, instead of like asking you guys to give me a bunch of feedback right now after not really having time to digest this information, I think I'm going to ask that you guys just kind of look over the rest of this. There's really only 3 more sections. No, 2 more, which is the team call and the weekly strategy sessions with key leaders. Those are actually very, the weekly strategy sessions are like Kanani and I jump on and do or get together, jump on Zoom and just do the, you know, the 2 of us and her goals and so forth. So that part we'll talk about, but we don't need as much feedback. I do want to show you, and I clicked off of it, but I do want to kind of show you guys the schedule. So her point was that if you actually schedule this out into your weekly plan, she said it's like less than 20 hours of true work that you're doing. So I thought that was kind of interesting. They made us fill one of these out in order to get, I think I got a citrus bloom for filling this thing out. So there is a blank template here. But I did think some of the ideas could help us work smarter and not harder, you know, or work more collaboratively and affect more people positively, both customers and builders. So if next week you guys could kind of take a look at this by next week and have some ideas and feedback. And Fraser, I would love for some from you about how you really, foresee us moving forward and supporting. I was thinking after coming up, like I could totally commit to coming to Oahu like every other month for, kind of in one day to bang out all three, like an essential oils 101, a continuing ed, and a business training. Like that's something I could probably easily commit to like every other month, but that's still not enough to sustain your guys' businesses, week to week or month to month,
Do we have other builders on Oahu besides like Tia and now Michael?
Yes, we do. We have Kanani has one. Yeah.
Yeah, Marcy and I'm trying to get Tatiana.
Oh, Tatiana came to Fraser's class. Okay. We have
The
Shelby.
one on the necklet.
Yes.
Oh.
And then we have Shelby who's over there, and we have some other people that aren't really actively building the business, but maybe if they got more support, they would be. But, ultimately, we're going to keep growing your people even, right? I mean, and others. So, yeah, think about in your ideal world what support would look like, and then, we can like try to figure out how we can make some of it reality. That's why I do like the online and this doesn't require people to be on Facebook, right? Anybody can log into the Zoom link, and then if all the videos are on the YouTube page, then the recording is just a link to the video. Here's the thing though, I'm going to just say this right now. I'm not going to do all of those product education calls. Like people have to help. And it can be about things that you're passionate about and want to share about, but I can't be in charge of all of the content for product education every single week and be the person talking about it. Like, it's just not fun. So, yeah. So go ahead and look more at this. And please bring your suggestions, even a class time. Like if we were to do the weekly class schedule thing, what would be the most ideal day and time for you? Bring that to the table and talk to your other builders about it too. Reach out and ask them like, hey, this is some things that Liza and the rest of the team are thinking about. Like how would this help you? What would work best for you? I really want to get more voices in on this. So, okay. All right. Not a very exciting team call, but definitely made me think a lot, you guys, about how, I don't know, how to just keep growing and improving. So
I think that idea of sharing it with our builders or people that, that's a good way to touch base with them about their goals again. So that would be a good opening line to what's your goals and how you want to move forward. This is a plan that we're trying to implement. How do you see yourself fitting in?
Yeah. It's a good way to touch bases with people and ask them, we're putting together a team plan to move forward to support people. Here are some ideas, how do these work for you, or what kind of feedback do you have, that kind of thing. So, okay. All right. I think that's it. Next week, we will wrap up the weekly success schedule. I will get some feedback, and then I would imagine September, probably like October, we'll be ready to kind of roll with, even if it's not everything, even if it's just continuing ed, even if it's one of the things, we will be ready to roll forward with that. Because actually tonight we got to lock down our classes for next month, which a lot of the focus is just going to be on post-convention, our convention really, and post-convention. But hopefully moving forward in October, we can try to start implementing just some new things. And maybe we'll get some new ideas at convention as well. Second week of September, there won't be a team call because we'll be at convention. third week of September will be a business call about post-convention. And then the last Wednesday of September, we'll have Ashley Kemma on. So just like that, we're rolling right through, everybody. All right. As usual, thank you so much for showing up for yourselves, for your businesses, for your customers. I'm always so grateful for all of you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Kanan. Please. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, everybody. I love and appreciate you all so much. Have a great evening, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.